Engineer Christopher Anicho, Director, UC Beaver Engineering and Services Limited. Onisiago Wana. All right. Let me also introduce Prof. PC Mado, Professor, University of Nigeria, Nsukka, one of those universities that's trained a lot of people that are reporters today, as we know. Thank you so much for coming, sir. I'm loyal. Prince Joseph Ogucho, Chairman Edo Kia. Are you here? Please, Prince Joseph. Please, sorry, this was written by hand, so I hope I called your name right. Thank you so much for coming, sir. We really appreciate your presence, Prof. Mr. Peter Asekog, Manager, Tima Enterprises. You are here, please. Thank you, sir, for coming. Awesome, awesome. Enjoy yourself. Please relax and feel free to ask for what you need. The service is going on. At this juncture, permit me to introduce someone who is going to blow our mind with a speech right now about data. So if you are still eating, no problem. I will be introducing you. We will be clapping. We'll be waiting for you. And once you are done, you're coming off stage. Me too, I go and eat now. Okay. At the time he is ready, we will welcome a great man to speak about data resources for social and economic development. Talking about the role of National Population Commission in data resources for social economic development. I am talking of no other person but Chief Ojogun Telson Osifo. He is the Director General, National Population Commission, NPC. Chief Telson Osifo. Chief Osifo brings over 3 decades of experience in demographic and social research, and he will be discussing data. You see, there are people you need when you are doing things, those who are very active and agile and proactive. He was coming up, and please continue to clap for him. I must, sir, say all this good work you are doing. Permit me. So, he has been the man that have 3 decades of experience in demographic and social research. He will be discussing the data resources and social and economic development. What is the National Population Commission going to do for us on this? Dr. Sifo, over to you, sir.
Well, I think I want to crave your indulgence while I make this presentation to say good evening, every one of us. I'm not a chief because actually my lineage we cannot be chiefs, rather we belong to the king's family. But anyhow, I hold a PhD in demography. I want to make a presentation about 31 slides on issues that has to do with data and data about Nigeria. 3 types of data we're talking about. Geospatial data, as we have them. We have data with respect to legal identity, where the diasporas will be strongly involved. And we'll talk about the census data. Go ahead, please. Yeah, that is the broad outline that has been put to them. Progress, please. Well, this is my introduction, telling us what National Population Commission does, collecting, collating, and publishing all forms of data, including migration statistics, population and housing. And I want to put it clearly that recently we were with the Ministry of Works and Urban Development on issues around housing data. When Billiard was talking, I felt I should mention it. Let's make progress. These are the 3 areas I want to talk about. Geospatial data, assuming have it. Civil registration, vital statistics, demographic, health, and environment of Nigerians. Let us talk about geospatial data. What do we have there? Well, as an organization, we collect data. As we were heading for census, we decided to map the whole country. The National Population Commission is the only organization that has this geospatial data. Every part of Nigeria was mapped. And very importantly, it could help in every form of planning. Digital in nature, about 600,000 enumeration areas of PSUs were mapped. Yeah, that is how it is stated. What does that data contain? Enumeration areas for surveys, for research, all buildings, and the attributes were also mapped, taken as at that time. Road networks and security-prone areas were also mapped. And you know what that can be used for. It has to do with high precision reference data. In essence, for every building at that time, we have both the longitude and the latitude. We had worked with the postal agency. We're trying to do that for our states. So, I mean, in terms of investment, you can think about that. Most of our homes in Nigeria do not have addresses. This is an opportunity to do that. To reference addresses, absolutely necessary. We have all information about every building, what they are used for, whether they are schools, hospitals, post offices. The infrastructure we have in Nigeria, they are mapped. That can be given for free. Let's make progress for that. Well, if you look at this map, it talks about the infrastructure and what we could call catchment area. I think this is Oka and the various infrastructure we have there, whether they are schools or health facilities. You can see the distribution very uneven, highly concentrated in some areas. Well, for those of us who have this cash, the story can be very clear. What are you doing for your community? How do you hope to assist the government? Proximity in terms of all this infrastructure, whether it is telecom, hospitals, schools, and the rest of them, it shows clearly. If you need that kind of information, come to National Population Commission. We support you and you get this done. Very similar to, you have educational resources, whether they are hospitals. Like I said, catchment area becomes important. We mapped all telecom situations in Nigeria. Areas where you cannot even reach, where telecommunication cannot be reached, you have opportunity to utilize this kind of mapping. Well, here We talk about poverty alleviation, the statistics around it. We have information that can be used by government to reach out to families or homes. Every households were mapped before this time, aiming to conduct a census. Well, somebody would ask me, why wouldn't you mention the southeast somewhere? The security-prone areas were also mapped, according to what you are seeing there. We demarcated some. We managed to reach those areas. So you can plan and work in the context of this. Yeah, this I've mentioned. Attempt is being made to give houses their job codes. Recently, we're discussing with Nasarawa State, where they hope to have postal services statewide. I think this is an opportunity for us to work with National Population Commission, those are the folks that are in diaspora, to assist this within our states. It needs to be done. You can imagine what it looks like, that it is difficult for a taxi driver that committed offense to be traced to any location because he does not have an address. But if you do this, it will help us, it will support all of us. Well, that is effort being made. The postal service job code, experimental phase in Buhari local government area. Well, for now, we are working with the Joe AI. I was in the US last month, where we're trying to get footprints of new houses to determine changes that have taken place recently. Because towards the census, we mapped the country from 2015 to 2022-23. But if you use the Joe codes, the Joe AI, the tendency is that you'll be able to talk about buildings, elevation using the 3D format. That's one of the things we're working on. That is there. Well, this essentially concerns all of us. Legal identity. Working strongly with UNICEF, Federal Ministry of Health, we are trying to make sure that every child has a legal identity, including those born outside Nigeria. I was in Cape Town and we talked strongly about identity theft. As we are talking about it today, about 40% of Nigerian children have registration cards. They are registered. But what about the 60%? A lot of work to be done. This is the pattern for that registration. Strongly working towards leaving no one behind. During immunization, you get a name number, you capture the child's record, it dovetails into health insurances and identity management, a long-term collaboration to make sure that every child in Nigeria is registered. Let's make progress. Well, this benefit is there, the benefits are there. The totality of it all, the statistics as they might be. Well, this is where we talk about our application, recent application called VitalReg. 10 options. Registration of birth attestation. You realize that a child can be registered only once, but attestation can take place, death registration, in order to minimize certain information to rest those who died. But you know what it looks like in Nigeria? Dead men can vote. True or false? Yeah. Marriage notification, certificate verification. Here you have stillbirth registration. We are thinking very strongly. We are working on this. Diaspora birth and death notification. This comes to you. But a very big problem, concept definition. When this team came to us, I had asked the question. There was need for statistics of those in diaspora. The question was first generation, second generation, third generation. Who are we talking about? How are we going to leverage all the information we have to get that information? You have migration notification, working strongly with Ministry of Internal Affairs to get that information. Adoption. Well, talking about adoption, I know that some of our culture will tell you that there's no adopted child, but we are beginning to see the difference in Nigeria and hospital onboarding to make sure that every child born in the hospital or otherwise is registered. That is the work that is taking place. Now, we have a database. We are discussing with embassies and high commissions to assess information on Nigerians that are about to travel. We had to ask, we sent a note to them recently to pass through this process in order for those who are traveling to have access to one or two things to make progress. We have self-assisted programs when it comes to registration of birth and death and all those other registrations or notifications. We have on-premise job going on. Well, somebody will ask me what happened to the census that was about to take place. Yes, it's still work in progress. Every information about the census has to do with what we have here, type of buildings, completion status, number of persons in household, number of visits. Well, I will mention it again. To determine housing needs, you talk about replication of families or households. How many households generates per day? I know my MSc was on housing needs, estimation of housing needs, and all the assumptions were that the way households grow, the higher the number of households, the higher the tendency for housing needs to be housing to be needed and otherwise. Well, these are the critical questions that are supposed to be asked in the census. For any data you need, you can consult us: literacy, migration, economic characteristics, difficulties in performing functions, that is disability, sanitation, and a host of it. And I know that for those in diaspora, you need such information about your home area. The critical thing is that the expected census will be able to analyze to your own locality, because we mapped all localities. We have locality lists from the beginning to the end. We have what information also from the beginning to the end. Issues around climate change is taking prominence. Don't worry, just go ahead. And here, we say, what are the opportunities? We have the data you need to support demographic, health analysis, and a host of other things. And on that note, I want to thank every one of us. One big challenge we have is inability to share our data. We decided recently that this demographic data, the job data, will be shared almost free. We need capacity building. And I want to say thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sipo. I was coming up to give him 5 minutes to stop, but he has really delivered wonderfully, and we thank you so much. Please, a round of applause for Dr. Sipo. I have to then, in this case, come back with my notes. Just give me a second. Smiling, that means it's not too important. What I want to say, in my years in corporate organizations, working for Syngenta, for MEFA, and for over years now with Novartis in Switzerland, there is something I have realized, especially also being someone who is entrepreneurial. Okay? I started my first business when I was in primary school. Don't say what? It's true. You know, they say necessity is order of invention. So first of everything is always important, but it's difficult. We all agree that. But there is one thing, if you are starting something any day, you don't miss. Ask me what? There is something when you are starting something new and trying to roll it out, you should never miss. Ask me what? Now I see you are listening. Feedback. Feedback is important. We will need your feedback on this program today. And please, we don't want it to be a rushing one. It's our feedback. We are going to send you email. You settle down and write in details what you feel about this occasion today, what can be done better, what do you think should have been done. Please, should I need that? Somebody said yes. Please make sure when you get that email that you please give us feedback. Very constructive one. The one that can also criticize really what we are doing, so we can do better. Thank you so much. At this juncture, we want to go into the signing of the MOU. We skip that a little bit so that we can do it at the time when most of the speeches are over. And so I want to call on the stage all the ADC partners. Please, can you come up stage first? Let's be a bit fast. Please, when you outside there, if you have not given your email, please write it down. It's just for this purpose. We are not using it for anything. And we are not going to write email that is showing all the emails. So it's going to be hidden from others. You will see only email to yourself. So for data security purpose. And right now, we want to call one of our partners and the delegates. Please, Bilal, may we have you up to the stage? Please, a round of applause as the chairman and CEO of Bilal is coming.
this is what's going to be what you see on the screen. We're going to have an app. There's going to be an app called an African Diaspora Hub. So all you're going to do is download that, whether it's insurance, whether it's investment, all kind of what we're talking today will be on your handphone. You can apply, apply for the properties, all the businesses. It's all going to be in this one app. And this app is coming, it's not yet on the Google Play. But look for it. That would be an easy way. What we're trying to do is find an innovative way to actually make it seamless to invest, to apply, to enroll insurance, to register your family members, and to even pay for their premium. And then you don't have to worry about their healthcare costs. Apply for a property and look for other opportunities. This is just a tip of iceberg what Diaspora Corporation is doing. We have a whole lot of investment from every sector you can think about. So reach our website, but this app is coming, and in no distant time, it's going to be something on your cell phone, and all the information will be there. And I want to thank you again for the villa. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I feel that music, that celebration. Can you put it again? Let's stand. My voice. Oh. And we want to thank you so much. Like I mentioned, that I cannot stress this enough. Please don't forget to drop your email at the front. Do us that favor to help us do better next time. Not just for this. Yes. You see, we collaborate. One other thing you have to see is that we are an organization that is trying to champion this collaboration of people with intent. You know, we all belong to one or the other organization, no doubt. I do belong to many also. But one thing that is very, very peculiar about ADC is the fact that we want to make this business oriented and connect it also, as mentioned earlier, to charity, to helping people, to developing Africa. We bring value, we translate it into other things that help people. Be part of us. And one of the things you have to do about this is what I just mentioned, feedback. Now, you may be wondering, we have a lot of people who should be here today. Good thing is that this is something we are doing across border. Many people were supposed to come from Nigeria, as you mentioned, was mentioned earlier. Venues and the delegates are not here. We were supposed to also sign MOU, which we will still do. They were not able to be here. A lot of our speakers, for one thing or the other, were not able to make it. But one thing that is important is that tomorrow, many of these persons are going to then be here. Because they missed their flight, and these are part of the learning. Next time we know how long it should take you to actually book and reserve to be here. So tomorrow we are going to have, and this is confirmed, the likes of Patutomi, the likes of Peter Obi, he will be here tomorrow. This is confirmed. Sorry, please. Yes, I mentioned earlier on, I like when it is me that made the mistake. Because I was taught when I was small, if you make mistake, just say sorry, and you will be forgiven. So if I have not called your name, don't let me cry, please, sorry. Because, yes, we are trying to make things work out, but there is someone who has been here. We need to recognize the Nigerian High Commission in London, the representative. We are talking of Adajere O Mopolaso Yo. I hope I said that right. Please correct me if wrong. Thank you for coming to represent the Nigerian High Commission to United Kingdom. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much. At this point, someone was nodding head. Let me know what she's trying to say. And will be delivered by a known Sierra Leonean artist, the King Masco, and his team. King Masco, are you here now? Can you come with your team, please? The stage is yours. And for the dinner, as they prepare to come, we will have the food will come this way. Table 2, the Billard and Venus. Table 3 will be embassy representatives. And 4 will be guest speakers and other people.
everybody? The out of 100% answer that's fine. You have to declare it. Yes. It sounds like unity, and this is the room where we're going to have. You have to know everybody. That's it. Yes. African diaspora nation. What's identity? Ladies and gentlemen, I feel proud to actually be in this room with you guys. You are the future, and you've actually shown us what togetherness is all about, and we're going to follow your footsteps. Looking around, I see people, men and women with substance. You have dignity, integrity, veracity, vitality, quality, ability, nobility, reliability, and all the positive things that I haven't mentioned. I can see all of them in your eyes. When we talk about togetherness, we look no further but African Diaspora Corporation. May God bless each and every one. It was deep down in the center of Africa, the continent of Africa, where communication started. Some people will say, why, how, when? Communication started in Africa. We used drums to communicate from villages to villages. Whether it's good or bad, drums was the first method of communication. And today we bring unto you the drums of Africa.